I have so got to get more fish than that guy. So got to. Hey, everybody, MntDewMania here. Welcome back to Friday, and here on the MntDewMania channel, Friday means Rant Day. And if you're keeping up with me, and I sincerely hope you are in this series, you know that we are in Season 5, and today we are on the letter K. And I've got a kind of an odd one for you. I think you're going to enjoy it. If you noticed the little clip there at the beginning, I was kind of envious of the stranger over here fishing. And I says to myself, I've got to have more than he has. I see that he's got one fishing pole, I have to have two fishing poles. He's caught 5 fish, I need to catch 10 fish. I need more, not because I need more, but because he has some and I need more than that. So if that's not a good indication, then I don't know what is. For the letter K, and K is for keeping up with the Joneses. Now, if you're not familiar with this phrase, let me kind of clue you in on what it means and where it came from. Is an idiom. I'll let you look up the word idiom. In many parts of the English-speaking world, it refers to the comparison to one's neighbor as a benchmark for social class or the accumulation of material goods. To fail to keep up with the Joneses is perceived as demonstrating socioeconomic or cultural inferiority. Okay? If you can't keep up with the Joneses, then you ain't no good. You just trash. Now, where did this phrase come from? It originated with a comic strip. The name of the comic strip was Keeping Up with the Joneses. It was created in 1913 by Arthur R. Momand. Hope I said that name right. Momand. You can go to the wiki and just type in Keeping Up with the Joneses. It's an absolutely fascinating story. But basically, all it means is, and it's not really envy. It takes envy. It's like envy on steroids. Okay, when you're envious of somebody, it's just a feeling. When you're doing this, when you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, it becomes some kind of epic quest to outdo the Joneses or the Smiths or whoever it is you're trying to outdo. Because one day you're outside and you're messing around the yard and you look over the fence and Fred Jones over there has got a new lawnmower. Well, hell, I mean, it's a rider. It's not a push one. I mean, yeah, your push one's fine. It's the latest model made and it works just fine. But what's he doing with that? Well, of course you've got to go out and spend $800 or $900, $1,000 on a new one just like that, because he's got one and you can't not have one. You know, what will people think? What will your wife think? What will your neighbors think? What will your fishing buddies think? My God, Fred Jones is outdoing you? No. You got to keep up with the Joneses. No. It's impossible. You cannot let Fred Jones have a lawnmower and you not have one. Well, you go and you explain this to your wife, and your wife says, honey, that's ridiculous. We don't need $1,000 lawnmower when our lawn's not even big enough for a riding lawnmower anyway. Yeah, but you don't understand. And that's how it starts. I don't know I don't know where the madness comes from, but people will go, to some crazy lengths to keep up appearances and keep up with the Joneses. I'm talking will bankrupt themselves, lie, cheat, steal, commit murder. It is phenomenal what people will do in order to keep up with the Joneses because it matters what everybody else thinks. Um, my daddy always said, and I find this quote online, so it's been around for a pretty long time. Don't buy things you can't afford with money you don't have to impress people you don't like. It's as simple as that, folks. I'm glad Fred Jones has a new lawnmower. That's perfectly fine for Fred Jones. I, on the other hand, am not going in debt for $1,000, $1,500 lawnmower when my lawn is barely big enough for a push mower. I could probably get out with a pair of scissors and cut it. So I could care less if Fred Jones has, you know, a big riding lawnmower that's, it has all these attachments on it and probably makes bread and, you know, whatever else it does. But I'm not going to go out and bankrupt myself just to have one to say that I have one. Just to impress a guy that probably never looks over my fence into my yard and doesn't even know my name. Why would I care what he thinks? Why do I care why do I care? You know what I'm saying? Why do I care about what I think about this? It's ridiculous. Why, and then you get your whole family involved. Well, his son's got he's driving now. He's got a decent truck for his son. We'll go give my boy a new one. What are you talking about? And before you know it, it becomes some kind of war, and keeping up with the Joneses means, the battle lines are drawn. And people just get into some messes trying to keep up appearances that in the long run, people, it don't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's like you need to define yourself by who you are, not what you have. Okay? It's wonderful to be comfortable in life. You know what I'm saying? You work hard. You should enjoy your money. You take care of your kids, take care of your family. And if you want to buy a big boat, that's fine. You've earned it. You worked for it. But if Fred Jones gets a 20-foot boat, that doesn't mean you have to just sell your 19-foot one and go out and get a 21-foot one. It doesn't matter. You both have a boat. I just don't understand how this can just be. Well, I guess I can't understand it. It's just, I don't know. It just seems to me that we worry these days so much about what everybody else has, and why don't I have that? To the point of people get depressed, and it's crazy. And it's not just, it's not just, don't think it's just the parents now. Because in school, it's like, it's almost like peer pressure when you stop and think about it. Somebody has something, and if you don't have that thing, you're not going to be popular. Oh my God. It's like, well, what am I going to do? Well, I've got to have it. Well, no, you don't got to have it. You probably don't need it anywhere in your life, but because some popular kid has got it, wearing a name tag stuck on their butt, or, draped over them, or in them, or around them, then just everybody in the whole world has to have it. Just to say that they have it. Not because they need it, just so they got bragging rights. Now, I had a friend. Her name was Roxy, and her husband name was Art. And way back in the day, I think she broke into show business a little way, because I do remember her telling me that she was on like the Ed Sullivan show or something, as a child, you know. And I can't remember the circumstances or why. Her husband, I think, was a big time lawyer somewhere, you know, and they had money. They were rich, millionaire rich, probably. I never asked because it wasn't any of my business. But loved Roxanne and Art. I still do. And I mean, and they lived at the golf course, which here in this little redneck town, that's a big deal. You know, if you live at the golf course, ooh, you know. Um, and we were actually in an organization together, and so it something came up. I can't remember what happened, but it had to have like a almost like a committee meeting, I guess. And she invited everybody for lunch, and had a maid come in, you know, housekeeper helped do the, you know, nice dinner. And I mean, it had the courses, and we sat at, you know, we sat at different places. We didn't sit next to our husbands. We, you know, there were table settings and everything, and we were just in awe, you know. And so, but I went early just, you know, to see if I could help. And she said, "No, no, we got it." And the housekeeper's doing all this stuff and everything. And she goes back into her den, and she's sitting down. We're waiting for, you know, dinner to get going. It's still a couple hours to the everybody's supposed to be there. And she gets her scissors, and I'm like, "Roxy, what are you doing?" And she said, "I'm cutting out coupons." And honey, I want you to know that my mouth fell open, and I looked at her, and she must have thought it because she started giggling. And I'm like, "What's so funny?" She said, "The expression on your face." She said, "You act like you've never seen anybody cut coupons before." And you don't, if you don't know me by now, you're going to. I'm just a very blunt, forward person. I always have been. The question that came out of my mouth, Roxy, I hate to be the one to tell you this, but you guys are millionaires. Why are you cutting coupons? Her response was, and I quote, "How do you think we stay millionaires?" She was cutting coupons. And I'm telling you, the woman could have anything that she wanted, and she was cutting coupons. So, I guess the moral of that little story is the rich people stay rich by living like they're broke. And broke people stay broke because they're living like they're rich. I mean, I have seen people go in debt for some of the most god awful stuff. Don't need it. Don't have anything, you know. I've seen people buy, you know, just, it's crazy stuff. And I think to myself, why do you need that? You don't need that. You're never going to use it. I know a guy that brought a brand new car, and he didn't even have a license. He got one because his brother and his sister-in-law got one. And he was one of those, they were always kind of, you know, jealous of each other. There was always kind of a friction there. Anything one brother got, the other one got. But when it came to that, I'm like, why? Why did you do something like that? You don't drive. Why did you need a car? Well, you know, you never know. Yeah, I do know. You ain't never gonna drive that car. You know? So, I guess the moral of this little rant is you can't, in the end, I mean, we're all going to come down to it. There's going to come a point that we all die, okay? And trust me, a cemetery is the only place where people don't try to keep up with Joneses. You no matter how big your house is, okay, um, or how recent your car is, how new your car is, how big the number, how many zeros are in your bank account, okay. Our graves at the end are always going to be the same size, okay. They all going to be 6 foot deep, folks. So stay yourself, stay humble. Don't think that you have to keep up with the Joneses in order to impress anybody. That's not what this life is about, guys. Okay? Don't waste your energy and your time, um, and all that stress and just hate. I mean, because you can end up just hating your friends, hating your family, hating yourself over stuff that doesn't even matter. Okay? This life is too short to waste on crap like that, so don't do it. Don't keep up with the Joneses, alright? Just be happy with what you got, who you are, and the rest of it ain't nothing. If you do get something extra, it's icing on the cake. That's all it is. Alright, guys, I'm going to cut out for now. I hope you guys enjoy. Let me know in your neighborhood or where you live, is there that family that everybody tries to keep up with, you know and how ridiculous is it? Let me know that in the comments below. As always, I thank you for stopping by and spending some time with me. It's much appreciated. And if you ever have a letter that you want me to consider, word for letter, leave it in the comments below. I do have my PO box back, so it's in my YouTube description. I'll make sure and put it in this description. And yeah, it's this is probably about the middle of season 5 of Redneck Rants. I love doing this. It's every Friday. It's just about as many as I can get. Then I get to the end. I'll take a couple of weeks, and we'll start on another one. So we're about halfway there. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. And I am so out of here. Later, guys.